All right, breathe in, breathe out. Get yourself together. Nobody will know you're not uploading on your channel. Everyone stay calm and focus. Alright, what's up everybody? This is Mike. Welcome back to another video. And me and Ken decided to collaborate on this project talking about the DJI FPV drone versus a real FPV drone right here. And we're going to talk about which one serves a better purpose. Which one should you buy? Which one is better for your own needs? And ultimately help you make a better decision. We're both posting videos on each other's channels, so after you're done watching this one, head over to the other one to see why building an FPV drone might be the better way to go.
All right, so when you're thinking about whether or not you should buy the FPV drone versus building your own quad, one thing to consider is the skill level needed to operate or build. And the good thing about the FPV drone is that there is no set skill level required. You can literally buy this with no prior knowledge to FPV and be able to get up in the air in a matter of moments thanks to some of the safeguards that they have built in on this. More about the safeguards here in a little bit, but this is just super intuitive. And as a new beginner, it's nice to have sort of those guided steps to learn how to put this together or learn how to fly this. And that's one of the things that these don't come with. These don't come with any sort of, set guideline on how to put it together. Sure, there's a lot of tutorials on there, but you have to have some sort of knowledge to get this far, to get this together and get this flying. This, you take it out of the box, you activate it, you plug in your goggles, turn on your RC, and you are literally ready to go in about 30 minutes. Actually, that's a lie. It's more like an hour and a half after you update all the software. But once it's completely updated, you can get it up in the air and start flying in sport mode, which is going to give you manual-like features, but without all the risk involved in manual, which I think is pretty cool. And I think a lot of pilots are going to really gravitate towards this just simply because they don't have experience and they want to know that their investment's going to be safe. And I think for the most part, if you are careful, you'll really enjoy this and you'll be flying in manual in honestly no time at all.
All right, so probably the number one feature of the DJI FPV drone for me is the safety. I know, not very exciting. However, the panic button it introduces is something that we've never seen on an FPV drone before. The simple fact that you can press a button and the drone will freeze where it is and just hover in place, wait for your next command, makes you escape so many dangerous situations. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a situation where I know I'm going to crash because I made a bad decision, and there's no going back with a regular FPV quad. However, with the DJI FPV drone, unless it's too late, if you press the button on time, you can save it and avoid so many sketchy situations. It's incredible. Another thing that I definitely enjoy about the DJI FPV drone in terms of safety is how it reacts to fail-safes. I recently did a range test with the FPV drone from DJI and I pushed it until it fail-safed, meaning that it lost all signal, I lost control over it. My goggles are all black. And when that happens, the drone will not randomly just drop out of the sky like some other quads have done before. And keep in mind, I have GPS here and it's configured properly, but sometimes it's not working, so it's a matter of luck. Here, when that happens, the drone will just hover in place and head back to its home point, which it has saved in its database, and it will all be fine. It actually acts the same way as any other Mavic or Phantom would act when you press the return to home button. It simply goes back to the home point, avoiding obstacles in its way and just doing it in a very safe manner. So that's definitely 1 point for the DJI FPV drone and 0 points for regular quads.
All right, so let's talk about reliability from the FPV drone to building your own quad. Quite literally, this drone has given me a new sense of confidence when it comes to long range and just the ability to push this out over water. Now, I don't have too much of a confidence issue in the quads I build, but a lot of people do see this as a bit of a negative. And for the most part, I can honestly say that the FPV drone has given me no reason to worry about its reliability. When I am flying over water, I know I have these wonderful fail-safe features that are going to catch me should I have an issue or should I have some sort of disconnect or fail-safe. They're going to keep me from losing my investment. The second thing is the battery life on these are just absolutely incredible. So it's one less worry that you have to worry about. You also don't have to worry about these things blowing up or exploding, much like these where ESC fires and failures are a little bit more prevalent. Those just don't happen on this simply because there is active cooling solutions and there are pieces and safeguards in place that are going to prevent the FPV drone from having the same catastrophic failures as your typical quad that you built. These go through a different QA process than what we do in our own homes, although I'm probably pretty sure that doing QA on our own quads is probably a lot more intensive than doing QA on the FPV drone. I'm almost certain of that. But even still, the reliability factor of knowing that this is going to be able to sustain high heat, cool weather, and just anything that a beginner can throw at it is really important. So from a reliability standpoint, I think the FPV drone definitely beats out a custom built drone in a lot of ways. But again, the choice is always going to be yours.
Now let's talk a little bit about battery life and range, because here on the regular FPV quadcopter, you get flight time of about 3 to 7 minutes. It really depends on the battery size, how you fly, how much you're pushing the battery, and etc. But for the most part, let's just say it's between 3 and 7 minutes. Here on the DJI FPV drone, the advertised flight time is up to 20 minutes, which is ridiculous. It's impossible to get to 20 minutes of flight time. Nobody has done it, and we all know about that. However, the realistic flight time of this drone is between 10 to 12 minutes of FPV flying, and if you're only cruising and you're not really pushing the battery too much, you can get up to 14-15 minutes, but you have to be really slow and really careful. So I wouldn't really say 15 minutes, but let's just say 13 to 14 minutes of cruising. You can achieve that with this drone. So massive difference between this quad and the 3 to 7 minutes of regular FPV quadcopters. And when it comes to range, this guy wins again. It's up to 10 kilometers in the FCC zone, so Canada, US, and all the other FCC countries out there, you guys are spoiled. In Europe, in CE mode, we get up to 6 kilometers, which again is not bad at all, but I couldn't push the drone that far away anyway. However, I know that I'm in the minority because many people have actually exceeded 3 or 4 kilometers already with this quad, which is impressive. When you switch to regular FPV, unless you build a long-range quadcopter purposely made to be pushed very far away, carrying a large battery so it can have a longer flight time as well, you probably would never get past the 2 to 3 kilometers mark without having a low battery warning anyways. So yeah, overall I think the FPV drone from DJI definitely wins on range and battery life.
All right, so those are the reasons that we have for buying the FPV drone versus building a quad. Now, if you want to see the flip side to this coin and why you should build, go check out Mike's channel. He did a sort of a counter video to this. So we're doing these two-part videos so you're not sitting through an incredibly long video. And obviously there's a video on my channel and a video on Mike's channel with these different perspectives. Now, to be fair, neither one of us chose what side of the argument we were going to talk about. I'm a gambling man and we quite literally flipped a coin to see who was going to talk about what. And this is the coin that I was dealt. So don't take this as I'm telling you you should buy this. This is just sort of the pros to buying this versus building. Now, I know the FPV purists get really pissed about this FPV drone, but honestly, this is helping bringing a lot of new interest into the hobby, and more so now than ever, people are really interested in FPV. They know about it a little bit more, and you should be excited the fact that people want to know about this sort of specific genre of the hobby. Now, is it the right way to necessarily get into it? Well, that's debatable, but it's not for any one of us to choose what is the right and wrong way to do this. As long as we have new pilots entering this side of the landscape, I think it's a good day. And I'm excited about the future for the hobby just in general. All right, that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed, be sure you hit that like button. If you didn't, well, you're a miserable person. I don't know why you would even use that other button. And be sure to check out Mike's channel and see the opposite side of this video. And as always, stay original.